Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 WTF facts about North Korea. North Korea is one crazy and scary country, and it's known for some insane rules and terrible punishments which gives North Korea its reputation. But because it's so secretive, it's very hard to find out what crazy things happen over there. A few crazy facts have been discovered though, and we're going to find out some crazy things in this video. Before we get into it, leave a like and subscribe, and comment I subscribed and I'll try to reply. Coming in at number 10, we have Fake City. At one point, you've probably heard some things about propaganda in North Korea. But this is easily the most crazy and extreme example of this kind of propaganda. In the 1950s, Jong-Un was built as a city to appear as an attractive reason for South Koreans to move to North Korea. Jong-Un is a luxury city with many South Korean-style buildings. They also apparently have electrical lighting, which is practically unheard of in rural North Korean villages. So far, it sounds pretty good, right? But this entire city is actually fake. The buildings don't even have glass in them, and nobody lives in the city. Also, the electrical lighting is totally fake as well. The lighting is on a timer, so the buildings only light up during certain times. The only people who are actually allowed in the city are cleaners. This is so they can make the city look more clean and perfect. It's also to make the city look busier, as the cleaners make viewers think there's a lot going on in this ghost town. Next up is year. If you're watching this video soon after it was posted, then you'll be in the year of 2017. And this is the same year for all of the world, you might assume. Well, for the most part, that is correct, and mostly every country in the world is in the same year. But North Korea actually breaks that rule, as it is not in 2017. The year in North Korea is actually 106. This might just seem like a random number, but it actually isn't. This concept is fairly new and was only introduced in 1997. 106 are the years since the birth of Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea and the grandfather of Kim Jong-Un. This is pretty crazy because the year 2017 are the years since the birth of Jesus. So the birth of Kim Il-sung is seen as more important than the birth of Jesus in North Korea, making him seem like a god. Despite all of this, their calendar still does keep to normal months and days. Next up is elections. If you live in the US, you normally have an election every 4 years. Elections are also full of contenders who could be the next leader of your country. But this is very different in North Korea. Firstly, elections are held every 5 years instead of the more common 4 years. Okay, maybe that isn't too crazy, but there are some more actually crazy things about their elections. For example, on the ballot, there's only one name, which is obviously that of the Kim family. This means that even though there is elections, there's literally only one option to vote for. In fact, sometimes fake names are even put on the ballots. These votes aren't counted and have no chance of winning. This is simply to make the country seem like more of a democracy. Just imagine if your country did this. Coming up next is compulsory accordion. A lot of people love to play instruments. Whether it's guitar, drums, piano, or something else, it can be really fun to learn and play. However, it may not be fun if you are forced to learn it by law. You might think there's no way you can make that into a law, but this is actually the case in North Korea because to become a teacher, it's compulsory to play an instrument. And while most people probably think it's something like piano or guitar, it's actually an accordion. This is because it's considered to be easy to carry around anywhere. This is bizarre. I mean, just because it's easy to carry around doesn't mean you need to learn it. It's crazy enough that playing an instrument is required from a teacher, but even crazier that it has to be an accordion. But that's not all. If you want to be a teacher, you also need to learn several classical songs and be able to sing them as well. This better give you a respect for North Korean teachers. And to any teachers who complain about the amount of work they get, just remember, at least you don't have to learn an entire instrument. I guess that means at least you save money on hiring music teachers. Next up is birthdays. People love to celebrate their birthdays, but it can be annoying if you have to change the day you celebrate it on. Normally, this is because of work or something like that. But in North Korea, it can be hard to celebrate your birthday on its actual day, but for a very different reason. These reasons are normally to do with either national mournings or celebrations. For example, if you were born on July 8th or December 17th, then you're out of luck. You can't actually celebrate your birthday, as these are the days that Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-Il passed away. These particular dates are especially bad, as there's a further rule about these dates specifically. With these dates, if you are found to have been celebrating on the days, then something much worse happens. The consequence is punishable by ending your life. Imagine losing your life just because you celebrated your birthday. Next up is statues. If you walk around your city, there's probably a lot of statues and sculptures. They're normally interesting and a good display of talent for the artist. But in North Korea, statues are used for a very different reason. There's around 45,000 statues in North Korea and around one for every couple miles. And all of these statues are actually of Kim Il-sung. You know that fact about never being more than a mile away from Coca-Cola? Well, this is the North Korean equivalent. This doesn't even include the statues of Kim Jong-Il or Kim Jong-Un, with several thousand of them as well. This is actually a form of propaganda because it makes you remember the one they describe as the supreme leader. Another thing which most people in North Korea have to do in respect of their leader is wear a badge of Kim Il-sung. This is to mark your loyalty to the nation's founder. Those citizens who have badges actually have to travel to their nearest statue to pay respect to their leader. I suppose that isn't so bad, as there's probably at least 100 in your local area alone. This takes place as a daily routine for most people in North Korea. Next up is haircuts. Most people go through several different hairstyles and haircuts in their lives. But this is the exact opposite to what you're allowed in North Korea. In North Korea, there's only a small number of haircuts which are allowed. This means there are very strict rules to what you can and can't have. The basic rules are that men cannot have long hair and must have short cut and very neat hairstyles. For women, the rules are slightly different and more lenient. The basic rule for young women is only neat and cropped styles, but can be longer for that of older women. Older women can have longer hair, but it must be very neat. And all of these haircuts have to actually be approved by the Pyongyang government. And a list of approved haircuts will appear in all barbershop windows. Interestingly, one North Korean's hairstyle who doesn't fit with these rules is Kim Jong-un's. And this is because he wanted to look different from what is common in North Korea. Next up is Kim Jong-il propaganda. As we mentioned before, one of the most notorious things about North Korea is their propaganda. This is especially in the form of propaganda about the nation's leaders. An example of this is a government-issued biography of Kim Jong-il's life. This includes facts, such as him being able to walk and talk before being 6 months old. Also, it says his birth caused a new star to appear in the sky. And some even crazier facts like him being able to control the weather with his moods. These are simply just a way of making the leaders of North Korea seem like gods and super powerful. There has been some evidence of this used as brainwashing material and makes many North Koreans see their leaders of the country as invincible gods among men. Even some North Korean escapees have said that as a child, Kim Jong-il seemed like a perfect being. One crazy fake fact that North Koreans are told about their leaders is they don't need to poop or pee. If that doesn't make them seem godlike, I don't know what will. Next up is camps. One thing North Korea is notorious for is their labor camps. There are lots of stories of escapees and the conditions of these camps. There are accounts of there being little to no food available, causing people in the camps to find alternative foods such as rats and other small animals. The camps are also reportedly near impossible to escape from. One former guard said the inner wall is an electric fence with 4,400 volts. In between this and the outer layer, there are many traps and upturned nails as well. The outer layer then has a large dangerous barbed wire fence. The prisoners are subject to many beatings from the guards. And if that wasn't bad enough, you're forced to work in extreme intensive hard labor to the point where you're too weak to even try and escape. This is one campsite you might want to stay away from. Next up is punishments. You've probably heard some crazy punishments that North Korea has, and we've even gone over some in this video. But one of the most insane things about the punishments is who actually gets punished. This is because of a rule known as the 4 generations of punishment rule, and this law pretty much does what it says in the name. It means that if you're caught breaking a law and are punished, then your whole family is punished with you. It's normally your children, spouse, and your parents that are punished alongside you, but depending on your crimes or if you don't have children, then your grandparents may also be punished. This is to provide an extra reason to ensure that nobody breaks any rules. As horrible as it is, it has been found to be very effective. I mean, who would want to be punished, let alone be responsible for punishing their entire family? Even if it is effective, it's really brutal and an insanely evil law. In one case, 8 generations of a man's family was taken to one of these labor camps. I don't know what that man's crime was, but I assume it was something really bad. Check out the poll in the top right corner and you can vote for the most crazy fact about North Korea. I think it's the fake town because that is the idea of an insane person. Leave a comment down below saying what you would say if this weird law came to your country. I don't know about you, but I think I'd have to move out. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.